Deshaun Watson, because simply I think him being a veteran, new coaching staff, new offense, I think he's going to have a better grasp, a quicker grasp of what Todd Monken is trying to do. And simply the fact he's getting paid so much, when you pull him, you really can't put him back. Or I should say, if you pull Shedeur, you don't want to put him back in. You can pull Deshaun, you can put him back in, you can do whatever you want with him because he's probably not going to be here next year.
The Cleveland Browns may have one of the most fascinating quarterback decisions in football heading into Week 1. On one side is Deshaun Watson, a former Pro Bowler who was once viewed as one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. On the other side is Shedeur Sanders, a young quarterback who finally got real NFL experience last season and now has a chance to prove that Cleveland's future should begin with him. What makes this battle even more interesting is how much is riding on it for both quarterbacks. Watson is trying to prove he can still be the player Cleveland believed it was getting years ago. Shedeur is trying to prove that his opportunity last season wasn't temporary. Only one of them can take the first snap in Week 1, and right now, this competition looks much closer than anyone would have expected a year ago.
I think Deshaun's going to actually have to outplay Shedeur, and then he's actually going to have to be able to stay on the field and not miss any reps, because they've already established that they'll probably just get the reps to Shedeur and not Dylan Gabriel or anybody else, and I think that could play a role in it.
The biggest reason Watson can't simply walk back into the starting role is what happened while he was away. Watson missed the entire 2025 season while recovering from his Achilles problems. That gave Cleveland no choice but to look elsewhere at quarterback. Eventually, Shedeur received something every young quarterback needs before anyone can truly evaluate him: real NFL snaps. He started 7 games as a rookie, and the results were far from perfect. Shedeur finished the season with 1,400 passing yards and 7 touchdown passes against 10 interceptions. His completion percentage was 56.6%. Those aren't numbers that automatically guarantee someone a starting job, but statistics only tell part of the story. Shedeur gained experience reading NFL defenses, dealing with pressure, and learning what happens when mistakes suddenly have much bigger consequences. That experience matters now, because he's no longer entering camp completely unknown. Cleveland has actual NFL tape to evaluate. The coaches have seen him command the offense in meaningful games. They've watched him make mistakes, and they've watched him respond to them. That's completely different from evaluating a quarterback based only on college tape or practice reps.
From the 35-yard line, Sanders on first down. Njoku is wide open. Instead, he goes deep to Fannin. Big play, Shedeur Sanders to Harold Fannin, a gain of 25.
But this is where the situation becomes complicated. Watson isn't returning as some random veteran trying to win a roster spot. When healthy and playing at his best, he has already shown he can perform at an elite NFL level. That's the player Cleveland originally invested in. The question is whether that version of Watson still exists. His Browns career hasn't gone anywhere close to the way Cleveland expected. Injuries have repeatedly interrupted his time on the field. Even when he was available, consistency became a major problem. Now he's trying to return after a long recovery and immediately compete against a younger quarterback who actually played meaningful football last season. That's a difficult situation for any veteran. Watson has the experience advantage. He understands NFL defenses and has played in high-pressure games. But Shedeur has something that can't be ignored: recent game experience. While Watson was rehabbing and trying to get his body ready again, Shedeur was actually standing behind center against NFL defenses. That could become one of the biggest factors in this entire competition.
I think for Deshaun, it's just about being healthy or as close to healthy as possible for him, after everything he's gone through. Because, it's the shoulder that, look, I mean, when you go through that type of shoulder injury, you're never going to be 100% again.
What's even surprising is that this competition hasn't turned into some ugly rivalry between the two quarterbacks. Watson and Shedeur have actually spent time working together during the offseason. They trained in Florida alongside Browns receivers as both quarterbacks prepared for what could become one of the biggest position battles of training camp. That tells you something important about this competition. Both players understand what's happening. They know they're fighting for the same job, but they also understand that creating unnecessary drama won't help either one of them win it. Shedeur has also spoken positively about his relationship with Watson. That doesn't mean he plans on stepping aside, quite the opposite. It means he's trying to approach the situation like a professional. You can respect the veteran standing next to you while still believing you deserve his job. For Cleveland, that's probably the best possible situation. The Browns don't need another quarterback controversy filled with distractions. They need competition. They need both players pushing each other until somebody clearly separates themselves. Now comes the difficult part for Cleveland. How much should past accomplishments matter?
Play action. Here they come. Watson in the face of pressure, delivers a strike. Peoples-Jones lunges down close to the 10. Beautifully done by Watson. Finally tackled by Jalen Petrie.
Cleveland is not choosing a quarterback for 5 years ago. They're choosing whoever gives them the best chance to win right now. Shedeur does not need to be a superstar. He just needs to show improvement. Interceptions down, decisions faster, accuracy better. If those things happen in camp, Cleveland has a very difficult decision. Watson faces the opposite challenge. He needs to prove his body can still handle NFL football. Every practice matters. Every sign of hesitation opens the door wider for Shedeur. This is no longer just veteran versus rookie. It is experience versus momentum. Watson trying to reclaim a job that once belonged to him, while Shedeur tries to prove Cleveland should not look backward. The Browns need stability more than anything else. Whoever can run the offense cleanly and avoid costly mistakes will likely win this job. Watson has the experience advantage, but experience only matters if he can still turn it into production, and nobody can answer that question until the pads come on.
Deshaun Watson, 56th in success rate, and in interception plus sack rate, also 56th, and 52nd in yards per attempt, 52nd in completion rate.
Shedeur does not have Watson's resume, but he has something Cleveland desperately needs, a chance to build toward the future. The Browns already know what the veteran option looks like. With Shedeur, they are still discovering how high his ceiling can go. His rookie season showed both sides, moments where he looked comfortable creating plays under pressure, moments where he looked exactly like a young quarterback still learning. The interceptions were a problem, the accuracy was inconsistent, but that is exactly why this second offseason matters so much. Cleveland does not need a finished product, they need to see progress. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Todd Monken changes everything. A new offensive system resets the competition. Neither Watson nor Shedeur should assume anything based on what happened under the previous staff. If both quarterbacks are learning the offense at the same time, the younger player has a real chance to show he belongs. Quarterback competitions are not always won by the biggest arm. They are won by the player who makes the coaching staff feel safest putting the football in his hands. And right now in Cleveland, nobody knows yet who that player is. Training camp is about to tell us everything.
Is going to become a contender, it's going to be from the offense getting competent. And so it's still a while though. And for the Rams, man, if you're a Rams fan, boy, are they all in.
Preseason is the biggest factor of all. There is a massive difference between making throws in a controlled environment and doing it when a defense is actually trying to hit you. Imagine Shedeur comes out looking more comfortable than his rookie season, ball out faster, moving the offense consistently. Suddenly, sitting him behind Watson stops making sense. But Watson could come out healthy and sharp too, making the throws that once made him one of the league's most dangerous quarterbacks. Right now, Watson's experience gives him a slight edge, but that advantage is not nearly as comfortable as it once was. Shedeur has a real path to this job. Watson is fighting to prove his Cleveland story is not finished. Shedeur is fighting to prove his is ready to begin. So the question is simple. Who are you putting behind center in Week 1? Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders? Because this decision could be one of the biggest the Browns have made in years.